Hello and welcome everyone. This is this inaugural edition of the Contractors Conversation. So I want to just welcome everybody to the platform. If you're here tonight, please just say hello in the chat. If you catch this in the replay, just um, put in hashtag replay. So just so I know that you're here and I can acknowledge that you spent a little bit of time with me on this evening. Once again, my name is Luciana Turner of the LT&A Company. And the LT&A Company provides government contracting, consulting, and training services to businesses who want to strategically maneuver and grow in the government contracting arena. And just so you know, I count nonprofits as government contractors because whether the money is free or not, you have a fiduciary responsibility to administer it properly. Therefore, you are a government contractor. But just to share a little bit more about this platform with you. Originally, Contractors Conversation was born from a conversation I had with a power partner of mine back in 2016, where we would just get online and just shoot the breeze, sharing behind the scenes information on government contracting and what it takes to be a real government contractor and what it really looked like from the back end. So what I did was I reimagined it for 2020 and beyond to include a lot of more of my power partners, to include a lot of more of my strategic partners, so that we as a collective can bring industry knowledge to you, so that we can share what's on the horizon, how we should think, how we should act, things that we should consider. I'm never here to tell you what to do, but I am here to give you strategic information that you can implement in your businesses. So, who am I? Whew, that's a long story. But in short, I am someone with 20 years of industry experience. I am someone who comes from working with two of the top 10 government contractors in a government compliance role, where I answered audits from the Defense Contract Audit Agency, where I led, projects along the lines of disclosure statement revisions, internal audits to ensure that my company, one, was current, accurate, and complete, and in compliance with all things government contracting. But we was also a part of the team that responded to the government to say, hey, we are doing what we said we were going to do, and let me prove it to you. So this arena of government contracting is very complex. It's a lot, is not impossible to maneuver through, but is not as simple as people would like for you to believe. So hang in there. Join with me each month. Will be the second Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I bring myself and some of my other partners to bear on all things contracting. Now, for tonight's edition, I wanted to talk about positioning for the future. 2020 has been a year of upheaval. I don't know anybody that hasn't experienced some sort of drastic change through this year. But what I do know is those who survived the change to stand another day, to take another step, were those who learned to hold on to their stamina and to learn to position and change and pivot with the changes that come. And the next 6 to 8 months is going to be a roller coaster as well. We have an administration change coming up that we're going to have to maneuver through. It's just a whole new world. We're still in the pandemic. It's live and breathing, and we're going to have to figure out how can we service our clients, how can we service our customer, how can we service our base in true excellence while still addressing what's going on with the pandemic. We see an uptick in stress and strain. We see a whole people are just kind of losing focus. And what I want to tell you and what I want to share with you and impart with you this evening is that the companies that will survive this will survive it because they are operating not in the primitive brain of, oh my God, this world looks different. What am I going to do? But they're operating from their higher self that says this world is different. This is how I'm going to move. We have until now, until December 14th, the certification of the election. We have from December 14th until January 20th, then the inauguration. And then we have the first 100 days of the new administration. In the meantime, we can't stop. We have to keep moving. We have to be forward thinking. We know that in this world, the pandemic is raging. So we have to say, how can I give my services? What services do I currently offer? What skills do I currently have that I can then tap into my auxiliary skills, my auxiliary capabilities to potentially expand my reach? Not going outside of that thing that you do in excellence, but expanding the reach of that which you do so that you can excellently serve your new client base. We want to get into, we have a whole new technology not ban, sorry, technology change coming up with TikTok, and there are security breaches and that's coming around, concerned that the largest internet platform is quite frankly hosted by a country that is not exactly friendly to us. So this is the time for internet companies and internet providers and security officers and security companies to be reaching out and saying and thinking along the lines of, how can I insert myself into this environment so that I can then expand my reach and carve out a new niche or become the new industry leader. The world is ripe at this particular moment in time for those who are looking to become the new leaders. The world is ripe for somebody to step up and say, I am here, I am present, and I am ready to lead the fight. The world is waiting for someone to emerge to become the next industry leader, to emerge to become the next industry dominator. And these things are not done operating from the position of I am small, but these things are done by operating from a space of I can grow and I can strategically think and I will strategically implement. I know right now I'm not on a topic, but I am. I'm on the topic of strategically thinking. I'm on the time of positioning for the future. And what a lot of small businesses, especially in the government world, fail to do, they don't forward think. They're so busy thinking in today until they forget there is a tomorrow. And what I'm inviting you to do is think for tomorrow. What I'm inviting you to do is to take today and create the plan for 5 months, 12 months, 24 months out, and how your business will grow in that time. Excuse me for the stammer, but how you can grow your business over that period of time. Today is the day we stop throwing things at the wall and hope it sticks. Today is the day where we implement well thought out strategic plans. And I keep saying strategic because it has to be. A strategic plan is thought out, it's planned out. A strategic plan is that thing that says, I am addressing everything that I can address, but it's agile and fluid enough until you can bob and weave and change as is necessary. So I'm going to make tonight short, but I just wanted to leave you with that thought of how are you going to position yourself. And I just wanted to throw this in your spirit. The companies I used to work for used to do a 5-year strategic plan. So they knew today where they were going to be 5 years from now. And in that 5-year strategic plan, that plan was not static. That plan was not something that they created today and put away until 5 years from now. That plan went from a plan to a budget, and it went from a budget that was created for January 1st and was constantly referenced and constantly reviewed. And when there were variances, they had to be explained. So it was a living, breathing document that permeated every aspect of business and business decision and decision making. But then you know what they did with that 5-year plan? They would get down and say in month 6, we hit this goal, we didn't meet this goal, and then they adjusted for remainder of that year. But then guess what? They created a new plan for 5 years from today. So when this year was over, this year was not in the 2021 strategic plan because the 2021 strategic plan went from 2021 to 2026, not 2020 to 2024. So we need to take our plans and we need to implement them and make them a living, breathing part of our organization, not something that we write down to make ourselves feel good and then move on from. So until next time, hold on. A change is coming. There's getting ready to be a major shift in the industry. And I just want to know, are you going to be one of the leaders of that shift? Or are you going to be one of the ones that just grab onto the coattail and hold on? And I'll catch you the second Wednesday in December for the next iteration of Contractors Conversation, where we'll discuss the 100-day plan. And that is what is in store for us the first 100 days of the next administration. But in the meantime, every Tuesday, I will be dropping a 5-minute moment on this page, the LT&A Companies page, where I'll be expanding upon what we discussed tonight. I will also be sharing other tips and tricks that I believe that you will need to implement the strategic plan for the upcoming year. And with that, I say good night. And thank you for joining me on this evening for the inaugural edition of the Contractors Conversation.